Now, we're gonna dive into some questions that are a little bit more fun and Melvor related, I suppose. We're gonna talk a little bit about your development style and process. So let's dive in. First, who is your favorite pet / child in Melvor?
Yeah, there's a lot of good pets to choose from. I think Chio is probably number one.
Oh, okay. Predicted.
Chio is definitely, I think, a crowd favorite as well, community favorite. Close second, you'd probably get someone like Mac.
Okay.
Definitely not biased because it's named after Malcs the dragon, but yeah, he'll come in close second.
And where do all the names for the pets come from?
Most of the pet names are references to something.
I know one's after your cat, right?
Yes, one's after my cat, one's after my dog. There's a lot of references to, I guess, like animated videos or meme YouTube videos or similar style to that. So the names of pets do usually come from some kind of reference, although there are a few unique ones where like Larry the Lonely Lizard doesn't necessarily come from a reference, he's just quite lonely because no one talks to him.
Chat, remember, you need to pet Larry. Then let's dive into a little bit about the development of Melvor. So something that some of the players were asking, we know we like to pick on you a little bit with the coding. So
a little bit.
A little bit. And we'd like to know, then would you do anything differently if you were to develop Melvor again? So if you were to start from the beginning, how would you change that development process?
Yeah, I think one thing we do run into quite some time is just going back through our old code and just seeing all the bottlenecks that it does create. There's a lot of old systems that we made that just did not scale well. One thing I would have done differently is rewrite that kind of stuff when it's when I see it.
Yeah.
What we've been doing, or what I was doing, was building on top of those systems because I thought the rewrite would just take too long.
Yes.
People wouldn't get content. I just want to pump out content back in those days. And
Yeah.
I thought a rewrite would just take too much time for not much difference. However, I'm definitely feeling those
Or Cool Rock is
those
feeling.
effects. Oh yes, Cool Rock is definitely feeling it. Sorry, Cool Rock, but
Yeah. And then with that in mind, still in coding, why did you choose to make Melvor using JavaScript?
I think JavaScript was something I've been looking at for quite some time. I was really into web development back in those days. I didn't actually develop anything. I was just more interested in it. I thought the ease of access for JavaScript was there for me, and if I was going to learn to code, I thought this would be a good starting point because you know, you dip and dab in like web development, like in school and that kind of thing. And as you go through uni, you might do some here and there. And I just thought JavaScript was a good entry point for that. So if I was going to learn to code, I'll go straight for JavaScript, try and learn to code, because Melvor was like, yeah, I'll learn how to develop a game and then move on to something proper.
And here we are.
Yes, here we are.
Then how do you decide between implementing a complex system for a skill versus a more simple system? So like, let's take summoning, which is the bane of my existence right now, and astro training. How did you choose the balance between those?
There's a lot of discussions around what a skill would entice. We go through every little nitty-gritty detail of when a new skill is coming. Do we want it to be complex? Do we want it to be simple? What has the community been saying about previous skills we've implemented? What are they saying that they want more of? What do they want less of? So you go to a skill like summoning. We did want a more complex skill.
You succeeded.
We did, yes. We thought that there was room to really incorporate the entire game into a skill like summoning and really create a complex system where players get a lot of choice. Agility that came before it does give them that kind of choice, but summoning has this different element where there's so many different combinations someone could choose from. And we wanted to have that element of discovery and, I guess, ability to have someone by your side helping you throughout the game. And that's why it became quite a complex system, whereas astrology was the last skill we've added to the game at full release. And we went back through all the skills we added before, Herblore, agility, summoning, all those types of skills, and said, okay, all we've been adding is complex skills.
Yes.
Let's go back to the roots of what made Melvor great. The really simple gathering type skills like wood cutting and fishing, you know, the real peaceful stuff. And that's how the thought around astrology was born, saying, yeah, we want a basic, easy to train skill, because I think players might necessarily want something like that. Then,
final question for you. Do you have any plans for other projects?
We definitely would like to work on other projects. We have many ideas that come up through the development of Melvor. We go, this is such a fantastic idea, but it doesn't work for Melvor. It just doesn't fit. You know, those would be great ideas if we do eventually work on a different project. For now, our focus is definitely on Melvor Idle, working on the expansions and just continuing development of that. However, far into the future, I would love to work on something else.
keep an eye out for games by Malcs. We're gonna have some exciting things. It might take a little bit of time, again, coding, but we'll get there, okay.